Oh my gosh, the 100th YCS is tomorrow. Coming out of Long Beach, California. I envy those of you who can go. I'll be at work most of that day. But good luck to any of my viewers who are going. I wish you the best. And I just want to say, I think something big's going to happen this weekend. I can't really say. I think something really cool is going to happen. I just have that feeling about the tournament. Like, it's just a good feeling about the tournament. I feel like some like rogue deck's going to win, or like maybe a tier 2. Like, I think Dark Worlds or heroes may break the seal and steal a win out from underneath the Dino Rabbit. I really think that. I don't know why. It's just kind of a feeling. But at the end of the day, my brain kicks in, and my brain says wind-ups. All the skilled players are playing it. They think it's the most skilled deck, and the skilled players are playing it. You get your best players playing one of, if not the best decks. It's going to have a good showing. So maybe wind-ups actually take the swap. But I have a feeling something cool, some way, something along the way is going to happen. So I do have Bubblebeat right here in my hands, and you've probably seen a deck profile or people talking about this all throughout the last month. It's become really, really popular. Seeing it on Dueling Network, seeing it on MCOL40, D-Siling Enigma, all these big YouTubers are doing videos on it. I'm going to show you my build, explain a few of the cards, and we'll go on from there. Now, Heroes is not something I'm very accustomed to. I hated the play style of Light Hero Beat. Seemed really boring. Very anti-meta, just kind of like, ugh. But, with Miracle Fusion and Elemental Hero Bubbleman, all of a sudden we're looking at something that can XYZ quickly and make some pretty explosive plays with some of the newer fusion cards, Master Hero Acid, things like that. So I am running the standard 3 Alias to go with the 3 Gemini Spark. Just inherent +1 card. It could plus more if you chain it. So just amazing. I am doing lowest rarity on the deck, so a lot of the stuff is going to be common and lowest rarity. That was the point of the deck. So you can comment below and be like, "Oh, your deck's so scrubby," but actually, that was the intention. So I am running 3 Bubblemen, hence the name Bubblebeat. Now Bubbleman, he's a level 4. He's a water. And he's an elemental hero. So those are the most important things. But it does have a cool effect. If I have no cards in my hand and he's the only one, he can special summon himself out of the field. So this means I can go, Stratos into Bubbleman, set my hand, and special summon a Bubbleman. Now, that may not be the best play, but that's just an example. You can set your hand. So I'm running a lot of normal spells I can set, and then special my Bubbleman, flip it, then start flipping those over, making plays from there. So 3 of those guys. He's the reason why the deck is named Bubblebeat, obviously. Makes rank 4s, Utopia, Blade Armor Ninja, and then you got the cool guys that are coming out, like the, what is that one called? It's just got announced in Japan. It's a rank 4, requires 2 warriors. He's 2,000 attack, and you can remove both the materials to double his attack, so all the way up to 4,000. It's something stupid. I don't remember what it's called. But that'll be on the horizon. So I am running 1 Stratos because he's Stratos. And then a lot of people will say that they like this card, and I do, but he can really get stuck in your hand because he can't be normal summon. He can only be special summon when you have no monsters, and then he can only attack if he's by himself. But you're using him for XYZ fodder. He's searchable off-road. He's not bad, but I think 1 is a good number for him. I was having really bad problems with him getting stuck in my hand when I was running 2. 3 Pot of Duality. 3 E-Emergency Call for our E-Heroes. You can set these, and then once you get your Bubbleman special, you can flip over an E-Call, add another Bubbleman. He'll be the only card in your hand, special that one out, do nutty things from there. 3 Gemini Spark. We already talked about how great that is, and most of you already know. 3 Miracle Fusion. Just so good late game. You get, 2 of them early, it's gonna suck. But late game, if you're top deck Miracle Fusion, I've lost so many times to a top deck Miracle Fusion, it sucks. But the Shining and Absolute Zero are gonna be your targets, and Great Tornado off Stratos. Mystical Space Typhoon, Rhoda, the aforementioned Mass Change turns your Bubbleman or your Absolute Zero into Master Hero Acid or Master Hero Vapor. Could be very good in the future. I'm testing one right now. There are going to be builds that, run 3, but those are going to be dedicated Master Hero decks. So, one Mass Change, one Super Poly in the main, siding into the other ones for, the Dino Rabbit matchup, so we can turn their Laggias and Dolkas into, their Laggias into, Nova Masters. Good stuff there. Book of Moon, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, and Dark Hole. 2 Solemn, 2 Bottomless, 2 Fiendish Chains. You notice we're not running any hand traps, so we do need the Fiendish Chains for, some effect negation. Hero Blast also disrupts a lot of plays. I do have one of them super 1 common. I do want 2 commons. 2 Torrentials and 1 Solemn. So I'll lay the deck out backwards and we'll go over the extra deck real quick. This does not have to be a long video, guys. I really think the deck is cool. It's fun, which is the most important thing. I have a lot of friends who don't want to play my Inzectors, and I'm not saying that because they think I'm too good with it. They just, playing a deck that just pluses 4 every time if you don't have an answer for it, it gets really old after a while. So, I have a friend who just started playing who plays Chaos Dragons, and this will be a better matchup for him than Inzectors. So this is the deck. Somewhat new sleeves, so sliding all over the place. Again, lowest rarity because I'm a G like that. We'll go over the extra deck real quick and I'll make a few notes on some of the monsters. 3 Shinings Secret because I'm a cheapskate and because, the Shining is the best elemental hero fusion. Combos perfectly well with Miracle Fusion. You get back the E heroes that you used to make it whenever he's removed from the field. And it can get pretty beastly late game as well. Inherently at least I think 2,900. So amazing. 2 Absolute Zeros. We are running Bubbleman, so we are going to run Absolute Zero. I do have an Ultra and a Super. I don't even know where this Ultra came from, to tell you the truth. But, he's a rocket key when he leaves the field. It actually disrupts a lot more than you really think. If you get one of these out in the field, you can watch your opponent kind of squirm because they know they have to find a way to get around it without, losing too much advantage. I do have 2 Nova Masters here. We can make stuff off Super Poly with them, but I have 2 because I am going to side into more Super Polys against certain matchups. So I am going to put 2 in my extra. 1 Gaia for Super Poly, an Earth, Great Tornado for miracling into with Stratos and Super Polying with any wind. 1 Master Hero Vapor. 1 Master Hero Acid. This is the new guy. I do run 1 Vapor and 1 Acid. I only run 1 Mass Change, so there's no reason to run multiples of these guys. Either I get the summon or I don't. Master Hero Acid is almost always going to be the preferred target. You play Mass Change on an Absolute Zero, and you're looking at a Raga Key and a Harpy's Feather Duster via both of their effects the same turn. 2,600 attacks, nothing to scoff at. Destroying all your opponents' spells and traps, also not something to scoff at. So, good card. Seeing it better in dedicated builds, but he does have a place in here, definitely, off of a Bubbleman or a Nova Master. Diane's in here just because I had room for 1 more card. Would be another Utopia or maybe even a Draco Knighted Quest or a Chimera Tech Fortress if I had one handy, but when I was putting the deck together a few minutes ago, I didn't have one with me. So Diane's in there in case we Super Poly into a Gaia and then we Mass Change into Diane. She's actually really good, just not practical to get out in the deck. Have a Utopia Ray and a Utopia. And 2 Blade Armor Ninjas. A lot of people will go turbo trying to get to Blade Armor Ninja as soon as possible and, drop game early. I don't really like that play style with the deck, but it is a different way to play it. I'm more of the control the game until you have enough resources to push with Miracle Fusions and, your Blade Armor Ninjas. So that's the deck. Very cheap to make now, guys. So if you're looking for a budget option, I don't think any card in either one of these decks is more than $10 each. Most expensive card, might be the Acids right now, and followed by maybe the Blade Armor Ninjas, Utopia Rays, and Nova Masters. So, it's not incredibly hard to pick up the extra deck stuff, especially now with Shining being dirt cheap. And then the rest of this, you guys saw, that's all pretty much commons. Your dualities and your solemn warnings you probably already have. And the Fiendish Chains you don't necessarily need. And I was actually thinking, I saw a few guys doing it, running Skill Drain, which, really is only going to stop a few cards in your deck. So I was looking at that, and I may actually end up switching over to Skill Drains, but right now Fiendish Chains are doing the job. So if you have Skill Drains or Compulses or D-Prisons, you can put them in the spot there. But that's the deck. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me, and hopefully I'll get some recorded duels using the deck, because I really think it's fun to even watch someone play it. Seeing Bubbleman used is so cool. You guys have a good one. Good luck at the YCS if you're going. If not, I'll see you guys sometime next week.